and gentlemen, I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel, and we have the Comet. Yes, the Comet, which used to be a very good tier 7 tank. It used to be very good, but over the years, you know, it's just kind of fell behind, and it was just an average tank. Nowadays, this tank right here has HESH. Yes, Wargaming in this last update 10.0 has given this tank HESH, and what a tank this has the potential to be. With that HESH, it has the potential to be absolutely amazing. So let's have a look at the stats, and we'll have a look at the new gun with the HESH in action. So straight away, it's got a nice turret. Actually, for what it is, it has actually got a nice turret, and you can get quite a lot of bounces on that turret, believe it or not. So 148mm of turret armor. This is the new tank, the new gun right here. So if you have got the tank, don't forget to change the gun, because you are normally set with this gun. So don't forget to, you have to unlock the tank, you have to unlock the gun, pay the XP, and then you're able to have this gun. But don't just remember, you need to change the gun. It's not going to automatically change. So if you've owned the tank for a long time, then yeah, just go over and then you can just get the tank, get the gun. Definitely recommended. I love the option, that the fact that you can choose. You don't have to have the HESH. If you don't want to, you can still have the other gun. As you can see, the DPM is better on the other gun, and the penetration is better on the APCR. The damage is less. So there's not much difference. There isn't much difference between the both guns. However, one of them has HESH. So the DPM 2305 on your 2305, you've got a 4.1 second reload. So the reload is actually very quick on the tank. 163 AP pen and 156 HESH pen. So yes, it's not as much penetration as your AP, but you do have the 156mm of HESH pen. If you want to go with the cheap HE, that is just 22, which I probably wouldn't recommend. You're not going to pen much with that 22mm of pen. So your standard AP damage is 160, 200 on your 200 on your HE, and of course 200 on your other HE as well. Aim time 3.3, dispersion 0.317. So isn't the best, but it will do. It will do. You also have a very nice 12 degrees of gun depression with a top speed of 55 kilometers per hour. So yeah, stat wise, you know, it's nothing to write home about. The tank, looking at the stats, it doesn't look fantastic. I mean, it doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look fantastic. But again, that is where HESH comes into it. And HESH, when you know how to play it, of course there are a few tanks already with HESH. If you know how to use the HESH, then it becomes absolutely brutal. It really can. And especially with a tank that with only 4.2 seconds on your reload, and you can get that down below 4 seconds once you use the adrenaline. So you can get that in even lower. So when you're having just a 4-second reload and you've got a HESH, if you are top tier coming up against tier 6s, some tier 7s, you'll be able to penetrate most things with that HE, because you do have, it is higher pen. So do bear that in mind. But if you are going to come up against those tier 8s, I don't know what's happening here, I'm getting stuck with these guys. But yeah, if you come up against most tier 8s, then yeah, you're not going to be able to penetrate them. And the worst thing about that now is you don't have that premium round to be able to penetrate them. But running it with the HESH is definitely worth that sacrifice. For me, I love HESH. I know how to use it. I normally load it straight away, and most tanks with HESH I normally have more HESH than my normal round. So yeah, once you know how to use it, it really is amazing. So I don't know how I managed to walk away from that untouched. Well, not untouched, but alive. I can't believe I got out of that alive. And it is now a 5 versus 4. You can see, even at this distance, I'm still trying to get the HESH out against that blaze. And sometimes it's not going to do you any good because you're going to shoot and you're probably either going to bounce or the splash is not going to do no damage. So again, like I always say with something like HESH, it is literally high risk, high reward. So not always it's going to come out, again, like here. So it's not always going to come out in your favour. So again, do bear that in mind, that there is going to be some occasions where you're going to hit the wrong part with the HESH and you're only going to do about 10 damage. So do bear that in mind, that it has you have the chance of only doing that damage. So just the T49 now. I'm thinking, you know what, this is where I do miss up a little bit. Again, I shoot his gun. I could just be using AP here, but he's just staring at me. He doesn't want to shoot, and we do manage to get the win there. You know, nothing too special. This game here, I mean, I do mess up a little bit, but it is the classic example of using this HESH. Now we are top tier, which will help us as well. So yeah, if you are top tier coming up against those tier 6s, especially tanks like the Agent, you know, these tanks, these light tanks that have no armor whatsoever, you could just shoot these guys pretty much anywhere and you will be able to penetrate them. And again, this, don't know what this Agent was doing, but yeah, he's now gone back to the garage within a minute of the game. So that is now one tank down. That was a very, very bad shot, but look at that. I mean, we can penetrate that T-34 100. That's a tier 7 medium tank. We can penetrate him no problem whatsoever with our HESH frontally. And yeah, it's just amazing. It's fun. The HESH is fun for the person driving. Obviously, it's not fun for these guys that are going to come in front of my HESH. And again, here with the E8, look at that. I mean, you could just penetrate all day long. And you've also got the armor profile. I mean, the armor profile isn't special, but you have the armor profile that you are able to get some bounces. I mean, here we've bounced 415, and we are actually going to bounce quite a bit this game. It does help that the enemy that I'm going to come up against isn't the greatest of players, but the fact that you can actually get some bounces on this tank as well as do the DPM that you're doing. Don't forget, the DPM that I showed at the beginning wasn't including the HESH. If you're going to play the game and use the HESH only, your DPM will increase. Unless you get the first, like, 37 damage, like I just did there on the Bazooka. And even here, in the Black Prince, I know that I can penetrate that guy. Now, I do mess up quite a bit, and you can see I'm trying, and it just keeps bouncing or missing against that Black Prince. But he's trying as well. He's missing me or he's bouncing me. And this is where I realise, even with me just sat there, I'm thinking, right, okay, you know, this guy isn't the greatest of players. So I could get a few bounces just from this guy. And finally, I do actually start penetrating that Black Prince. So he's now a one-shot, and I do manage to clear him. So we bounced 575 damage this game, and thanks to the HESH, we managed to get up just over 2,000 damage, and just 2 tanks left alive. And this is where I'm thinking, you know what, this should be an easy win. This should be an easy win. That Annihilator, he hasn't got much hit points left. I'm still getting some bounces from this Skoda, so there's no point in me trying to run away. You can see he is, yeah, he isn't doing too well against me. But now the Firefly has gone. I am on my own just against these 2 guys, and this is where I could have really done with some hit points, because yeah, it's I'm now a one-shot just against this Annihilator, and the Annihilator is still a very good tank, and when I'm only on 116 hit points, the Annihilator is probably not the best of tanks to come up against. But at this point, I'm thinking, you know what? we're winning on supremacy points. I probably was spotted when I was running away, so I was heading in this direction. Now, looking at it now after the game, I could have just gone left and carried on. But at this point, I'm not looking at attacking. I want him to be the one to attack. I want him maybe to go towards base A. If he misses his shot, then I should be able to get the shot. But when I'm now spotted and I don't even get the freaking chance, but well played to that Annihilator. But that game there, 3.5k damage, just goes to show that how good this HESH actually is. And thanks to the HESH, it has now made this tank worth buying and worth playing. So thank you, Wargaming, for giving the Comet some love. It really did need some love. It fell down the pecking order in tier 7. It used to be one of the best tier 7s in the game before all these premium tanks were started adding, all the new lines, and now thanks to the HESH, they have just brought it back into action, if you ask me. But we're also going to look at the tier 8, because it is not just the Comet, also the Centurion 1, another tier 8 tank, another medium, British medium, that now has the HESH. But before the HESH, the last time I played this tank, didn't feel anything special. But now, with the HESH, I'm sure it is a much, much better tank. So we will have a look at this in the coming days to see how this tank now plays with the HESH. So thank you for those of you that have joined. If you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. There is a giveaway on the channel that you need to be a subscriber if you want to be in a chance to win that. So make sure you subscribe. But for now, hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm meadsy69, and I will catch you all soon. Bye-bye. With